Yeah, man, that's what's up. Now it looks like Ti followed the advice that I mentioned on my previous video where I talked about specifically, the so-called controversy with the blackface from Gucci, Prada, Montclair, etc. That we need to promote more black-owned clothing companies. We need to buy black, period. That should be the focal point. That should always be the focal point. Buying from other black businesses should always be the focal point. And during that video that I said, he didn't promote any kind of black-owned clothing companies, but now he has. So, hey, I'm not taking credit for that. I just put that energy out there. Once you put that energy out there, hopefully it'll come back in a positive way, and it did. So I put that energy out there. I said we need to promote more black-owned clothing companies, black-owned businesses, period. And that energy came back in a positive manner. So that's good. So he posted a lot of different black-owned clothing companies: Rich Broke, Strives Row, High End, Timeless Menswear, Amir James. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty cool. I haven't heard of these brands. I'll definitely check them out. I was already checking out a couple of other joints on the Instagram pages. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Good stuff. I'm gonna follow all these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's that's why, like I mentioned, it's when you put the energy that you want out in the universe, you want it to be reciprocated in a positive manner. So I always put out that kind of energy out in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want black society to succeed, I want that energy to be put out and reciprocated in a positive manner. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, going back to Nick Cannon on Instagram. Shout out to Nick Cannon. He just recently made a Instagram post calling out these white talk show hosts who want to colonize and fraternize with black people who go on their show to promote their products. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. I'm not really too familiar with Sarah Silverman. I don't know who the hell she is, but I know who Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon is. At the same time, I've never watched their talk shows. And the reason why I never watched their talk show, because I knew they did this. I knew they did this stuff. This blackface stuff, they did it. They never apologized for it. Nobody's called them out for it until today. Until recently. That Nick Cannon called these guys out. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Sarah Silverman, all been called out for wearing blackface. Promoting anti-black imagery. Demonizing black society. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. At the same time, you got these suspected white supremacists coming out and attacking Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon did this, similar to the Wayans brothers, who did White Chicks. They did Whiteface, which is not the equivalent of that. And Nick Cannon also called out people saying that reverse racism is actually a real thing when it's not. And I totally agree with Nick Cannon. Reverse racism is an oxymoron. There's no power structure when it comes to reverse racism. There's no power structure when it comes to people classified as black or African American practicing systemic oppression, mistreating a group of people based off color, creating laws, legislating laws. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the institutions. We don't have the wealth or the resources to mistreat another group of people based off color. It is a power structure. All right. And I went back and I'm going to do it again. I go to etymology online and I look up the word racist. Right. And a lot of these goddamn white supremacists got upset when I mentioned that racist, which is right here. If you don't know what etymology means the origin of the word. If you want to look up word origins, go to etymology online. So specifically here, it says here, in the U.S., race hatred, race prejudice has been used and especially in the 19th century political context, Negrophobia, Anglo-Saxism, as in belief in the superiority of the English race. Okay? Racist stems from the belief in the superiority of the English race, has been used disparagingly from 1860 anti-Negro. Okay? Anti-Negro belief in the superiority of the English race. That is the origin of the word racist. Racism stems from the superiority of the English race or anti-Negro. So again, there's no such thing as reverse racism. That is an oxymoron. Racism has always stemmed from the mistreatment of black people, the mistreatment of people classified as black or African American, and the superiority of the English race. It's been anti-Negro, aka anti-black, from the inception. Those are facts, and I just pointed that out to you. And I didn't write this myself. This is on etymologyonline.com. Okay? Bottom line. So Nick Cannon is 1,000% right. There's no such thing as reverse racism. That's not an equivalent to anti-black imagery the dominant white society continues to portray. You know, they have been making anti-black imagery for hundreds of years, or actually for over 500 years. And there has been, there is plenty of primary sources where you can check this out. Like, for instance, Ferris State University, Jim Crow Museum. All right. You can check out all this stuff here. The Coon Kitchen, racism in the kitchen, racism on the lawn. All of this stuff has been created by the dominant white society for over 500 years. All right. So the thing I want to see, family, is with Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. Now that, you know, someone like a Nick Cannon has called these guys out, I don't care about an apology. We don't need apologies. What we need to do is we need to continue to act accordingly as a collective and show our strength in numbers. So now that, you know, these clothing companies like the Gucci's of the world, the Pradas of the world, the Monclers of the world, the H&M's of the world don't care for black people and our black dollar, we need to spend. We need to patronize one another, support black business. That's number one. Right? We need to go back to Black Wall Street, basically, and spend on ourselves. Not only spend on ourselves, promote within our own group. So don't go on these other talk shows that are hosted by the likes of Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, right? We don't need to go on their shows to promote our work. We need to go on our own shows, right? So I don't want to see any celebrities, no public figures, no entertainers, no athletes who are classified as black or African American go on these shows such as Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. I don't care for an apology. We don't need an apology. Could care less about that. Once you made that, you know, once you did this, it's a wrap. But again, for me, I've never watched their show from the beginning anyway, so I never cared about their shows. All right, but I would like going forward that any black celebrity, public figure, entertainer, athlete will not go on the Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon show or any other show that has a white host that has done blackface. We no longer need to promote any of our businesses within those kind of shows. Point blank and simple. So I want to see everybody who's in the black entertainment sphere publicly denounce Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and only go on, you know, our shows to promote the advancement and the empowerment of black society. You know, that's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, shout out to Nick Cannon for calling this out. You know what I mean? And he mentioned, I'm sure we expect some apologies for Monday. Hey, I'm sure, I'm pretty sure he meant that as being sarcastic. You know, we don't, like I said, we don't need apologies. Just move forward and continue to support one another. It's that simple. It's that simple. So those are my quick thoughts about that, family. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at GMOGMediaTV. All my links are down below in the description. If you have a question or comment, you can email me at GMOGmedia@gmail.com. All right, family. Until next time, Chauncey, GMOG Media TV, signing out. Peace.